Hello everybody, Jamie here from FM Scout. In today's video, I'm bringing you a new Legends as Wonderkids series. This is going to run over the course of FM20. Firstly, I want to give credit to Tyrannosaur, the person that created this on the Steam Workshop. I will put the link to each individual Wonderkid in the description below, so make sure you go ahead and rate and like his content. He has produced quite a lot of Wonderkids, or Legends as Wonderkids. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. You might want to put David Beckham back into Manchester United. The way this is going to work is, basically, we've got David Beckham, we've got Eric Cantona, we have got Jaap Stam, Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs. Now, these won't be going back to Manchester United. Obviously, I want to see where these players go in their careers. We are going to quickly look at their stats, but essentially we're going to come back in probably 20 years' time and see what they've done. So they'll be 37, see if they've retired, see if they've gone into management. And yeah, we're going to see what they do over their career. It's going to be quite exciting. I love stuff like this. Hopefully you guys do. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. But let's show you the first player. Now the first player, of course, as I mentioned, is David Beckham. So let's just pop him in the title. Here we go, David Beckham, free agent. Of course, ignore the picture. That is because he's like a staff or chairman on the other one. But he is wanted by a few clubs already. He is 17 years old. These are his stats. I haven't looked at his potential. I'm assuming his potential is maxed out. But we want to see what this guy does with these stats. Of course, them stats are going to improve as well. I've never done this before on this channel, so I'm intrigued. I've never even holidayed a Legend Wonderkid like this. So I'm intrigued to see what happens to his stats when he turns 30. So what we'll do, we'll come back when he's 30, and we'll kind of see his stats at that point, kind of in his peak, and then we'll just holiday the last few years and see what his final career ends up like. While we're doing this, actually, one thing I forgot to do, let me just quickly do this. Can I save let's have a look, what am I looking for? I want to save his history after retirement. I don't know if that's going to come up just yet. We'll have a look. I mean, I'm assuming he won't retire anyway. Well, he will retire, but he won't come off the game. But even if he does, we can still see the stats. But that is David Beckham. Let's have a look who he's wanted by. He's wanted by Burnley, Chelsea, Palace, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Seattle Sounders, and New York City FC. Now, again, I haven't really looked into this, so I don't know who his favourite clubs are, if anything like that has been added. Looking at this, I don't see any favourite personnel, anything like that. So it's a fresh slate for David Beckham. Let's see the next player is Eric Cantona. So let's have a look at Eric Cantona's stats. So Eric Cantona, of course, is French. There his stats at 17 years old. Very, very good stats. If we look at his he's wanted by Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Manchester United. Now, I'm almost certain at least a few of these may go to Manchester United. It would be cool if one of them maybe went to Liverpool and see what he did at his career over Liverpool, you know what I mean? So let's have a look at that. Let's go into Jaap Stam. So Jaap Stam, of course, is Dutch, 16 years old, this guy. Is wanted by Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Manchester United. Let me know in the comments who's your favourite player out of all of these as well. But obviously, determination of 20. I'm assuming the author who's created this has kind of gone the most realistic stats. He's even put player traits in if you are watching the player traits. Play short, simple passes, marks opponent tightly. But if you don't have a go at me, if you believe that this player doesn't play short, simple passes, as an example, I haven't created this. So let me know if he's got something wrong. He might change it. So it's all about constructive criticism. If you feel that something's wrong in these guys' stats, let me know. The guy might change it and update it. Let's move on to Paul Scholes. So Paul Scholes, here we go. Paul Scholes, centre midfielder, of course, DM. So this is Paul Scholes' stats at 16 years old. Determination of 19. Obviously the vision, the passing. I feel like the passing should be a little bit higher, but he is only 16. Bear in mind that these are going to improve. I've not got the editor loaded, so I can't actually see what his current ability is. I'm assuming, like I say, it is the top one. You can see his player traits right here. Shoots from distance, shoots with power. I mean, that's kind of what Paul Scholes does. Plays short, simple passes. He kind of does both. If we look who he's wanted by, he's wanted by Bournemouth, Arsenal, Villa, Brighton, Chelsea, and Palace. So Paul Scholes might not be going to Manchester United. That's quite interesting. Let's have a look at Ryan Giggs. The final one, Ryan Giggs, and then we're going to drop it on holiday and see where we end up. So Ryan Giggs, 16 years old, Welsh, right winger. Play on the left as well. Wanted by Bournemouth, Villa, Brighton, Burnley, Chelsea, and Palace. As you can see, it's got a hell of a lot of traits actually. Attempts overhead kicks, plays 1-2s, kills ball, moves into channels. Yeah, so that is Ryan Giggs. But we're going to jump over now for about 20 years. No, we're going to do about 15 years until they're 30 years old. We'll come back when they're 30, and hopefully we see where they've gone in their career, see what they've won. Let's check out the biography, and yeah, drop a like on the video, and I'll see you all shortly. And welcome back. As you can see, David Beckham, 30 years old now. We are in the 1st of June 2032. And 81 million value for David Beckham. But looking at his stats, I mean, he's still kept the 23 kick taking. His attributes, other attributes, really good. Passing, 19. Let me know in the comments if you think that these stats at 30 reflect what David Beckham was like at 30 years old in the real life of football. He's, of course, made 154 caps for England, 71 goals as well, 2 under-21 caps, and 2 under-21 goals. Of course, you guys can see the milestones on the right-hand side. But going forward, at the end of it, so we're going to go forward another 6 years, and when they're 36, we'll kind of check, the Ballon d'Or, the FA Cup, the Champions League, the World Cup, see if any of these players have kind of won anything along them lines. Of course, you can see somewhat they've won on the right-hand side in the milestones. As an example, David Beckham won the Champions League with Liverpool in 2032. So, but yeah, let's look through the players now. So obviously we've got David Beckham. We've got Jaap Stam to look at next. Let's just quickly look on his history. You can kind of see his average rating throughout his career at Liverpool. So he joined there in 1920, of course. 36 appearances at 16 or 17 years old. I can't remember which he was. Average rating, though, of 7.84. We're going to use that as a benchmark. That is the highest at the moment. But looking at this, I mean, he had last season, he actually had his best season. 8.05 rating at 30 years old. 177 goals in his career at Liverpool, 165 assists as well, and 144 player of the match, which is absolutely fantastic. So, of course, completely different to real life. He isn't at Manchester United. He has gone to Liverpool. But yeah, let's look at Jaap Stam. So let's get Jaap Stam in the top. So Jaap Stam actually went to Manchester United, and he's also not left as well. So Manchester United, you can see his attributes. He's only got 120 in concentration. It looks like his determination has actually dropped. I believe his determination was 20 at the start of the save, but that is obviously based on the whole of the United squad as well. He's made 128 caps for Holland, 6 goals as well. Valued at 65 million on 550k per week. Of course, this guy's a centre-back, so I'm expecting his average rating to be a lot lower than, for example, the strikers. But 20 on natural fitness and 20 on concentration is absolutely magnificent. If we go to the career stats, you can see he joined in 1920. He only made 13 appearances in his first season at Man United. But looking at his after that, pretty much a first-time starter. He hasn't scored that many goals. 441 apps, 22 goals, and 20 assists with 39 player of the match. Average rating of 7.35. So that is the lowest we've seen so far. Let's move on to Ryan Giggs. So if we go on to Ryan Giggs is actually at Real Madrid. He's had 3 clubs, which is really surprising. Valued at £90 million though, 350k wage. Attributes look very good. He's made 140 caps for Wales, 38 goals. If we go into his history, he's actually 4 clubs. Wow, okay. So he started at Aston Villa, and then he actually went to LA Galaxy for 8 million, went to Manchester United for 9 million, and then went to Real Madrid for 127 million. Average rating of 7.86 throughout his career at 4 different clubs. 449 appearances, 200 goals, which is absolutely quality for a winger. 147 assists and 117 player of the matches. That's really surprised me that he's had 4 clubs. He's still only 29, so will he finish his career now at Real Madrid, as many other players do? But let's have a look at Paul Scholes. See if Paul Scholes has been at Manchester United as well. He is currently at Manchester United. His stats, of course, Paul Scholes is probably going to be playing as a DM role, 350k per week, 145 caps for England, 33 goals, 86 million value. Physical stats, very good. Mental stats, even better. Of course, the mental stats will get better with age. If we go into his career stats, you can see he went to Crystal Palace on a free transfer, and then he joined Manchester United for 37.5 million. Got a 7.47 rating, 451 appearances, 102 goals, and 119 assists, which is very, very good. But yeah, that is Paul Scholes. And finally, let's have a look at Eric Cantona. So Eric Cantona, of course, the French, is actually at Manchester United as well. So I'm expecting Manchester United to have probably dominated throughout this experiment. But if we look at here, he joined on a free transfer, 7.85 rating, 431 appearances, 253 goals, 63 assists. I'm really expecting United to have dominated because they did pull these players through. Of course, there is still time for these players to move. Again, at the end, once they turn 35, 36, we'll come back. Once they retire, we'll look through the career, see what they've done in terms of the Champions League, the World Cups and stuff like that, and I'll be back in a few years. And we are in July 2042. All the players now have retired. Some retired a little bit later than others. David Beckham was the first player to retire at 37 years old. I think Jaap Stam went on to about 40. But we're going to look what David Beckham has done over his career. He's made 204 appearances for England, scoring 91 goals. Let's have a little read of his biography, though. So, Liverpool icon David Beckham was born in London on 2nd of May 2002. In a playing career which spanned 20 years from 2019 to 2039, Beckham made 732 appearances and scored 270 goals for Liverpool. Beckham made his senior club debut in the FA Community Shield, playing for Liverpool against Manchester City. He actually scored on that game as well. He also made his England debut against Romania in March 2020. He went on to make 204 appearances for his country, scoring 91 goals. Now let's have a look what David Beckham has achieved with Liverpool over that period. So, David Beckham spent his entire career at Liverpool. We already know how many appearances. Looking at this, he lifted the Premier League in 2020, 2022 and 2029. So he's only won the Premier League 3 times in comparison to what he did with Manchester United. He won the UEFA Nations League in 2025, won the FIFA World Club Cup in 2021, and they won the FIFA World Cup in 2030. The UEFA European Championship in 2032, the Champions League in 2032 as well, the Europa League in 2035, the Super Cup in 2032, the FA Cup 3 times between 21 and 2023. He won the Carabao Cup in 2020 and 2028, and the FA Community Shield in 2022 and 2030. So he's had a good career at Liverpool, I think. Of course, you can always go and read what is won in terms of like Ballon d'Or, but we will go to the Ballon d'Or screen after this is finished. But yeah, that is David Beckham. Looking on the screen right now, you'll see that has just popped up a career of what David Beckham achieved in his career at Manchester United. So he made 523 appearances for Manchester United. Well, for all of his clubs. He made obviously 265 for Manchester United, but let's go off overall. So 523 appearances, 97 goals. He has completely smashed that. Of course, he was much better at the start of this save, but it's nice to compare. 523 appearances, 97 goals, in comparison to 732 appearances with 270 goals. In terms of the national team, he made 204 appearances in our experiment, scoring 91 goals. Whereas England, in real life, he made 115 appearances, scoring only 17 goals. So yeah, that is a bit of a comparison. Let's move on to Jaap Stam. So Jaap Stam has gone into a coach. He is still unemployed. He's only just retired. But Jaap Stam made 782 appearances for Manchester United. Did not move the entire save. Literally spent his entire career there, unlike in real life. But you can see 38 goals, 33 assists, the average rating over a course of his seasons of 7.35, which is 7.33, which is very good for a centre back. You can see. Let's have a little look at his milestones. So it's saying he was actually on trial at Manchester City. Wow, okay. But let's go to Manchester United. So let's look better at this. This is probably the best thing to look at. So let's go from the start. So 2019 he made his debut. Let's have a look at the stuff he's won though. Under 23. He was in the under 23s for a while. He did win the Carabao Cup. In 2022. He won the Premier League in 2023. He won the Champions League in 2023. He won the UEFA Nations League in 2023. He won the Super Cup in 2023. An absolutely amazing season for United in 2023. And then, of course, going up a little bit further, he won the Premier League again in 2025, FA Community Shield. He's won pretty much everything. I'm not going to go through everything. He also won the Olympics game with the Holland under 23s. He won the Super Cup. Obviously, Holland doesn't look like they won the World Cup at that point. We'll look into that later. He won the FIFA World Club Cup. He won the Champions League. He's pretty much won a hell of a lot. But his biography, Stam's spell at Manchester City didn't last long and ended. And in August 2019, he joined Manchester United, making 782 league appearances and scoring 38 goals in 23 years. During his time with Manchester United, Holland, and Holland under-23s, Stam's team lifted the Premier League in 2023, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So Manchester United had a big spell of dominance. But of course, they also had Cantona as well, right? They won the UEFA Nations League in 2023, the FIFA World Club Cup in 2033, gold at the Olympic Games in 2028, the Champions League 7 times between 2023 and 2036. He also won the Europa League in 2042, which was kind of towards the end of his career. He won the UEFA Super Cup 6 times between 2023 and 2036. FA Cup he won 7 times between 25 and 39. And the Carabao Cup 10 times between 2022 and 2042. And the FA Community Shield 11 times between 2024 and 2039. Now, if we have a quick look at his stats, let's just come on the screen right now. He made 415 appearances in his career over the course of his career, 23 goals. As you can see, he has absolutely smashed that. He has made 782 appearances, almost double, with 38 goals and 33 assists. So his goals, we got very, very good, really. I mean, his goals 38, not probably as good as real life when you compare. He only made 415 appearances with 23 goals. So he played a lot more games and scored kind of less goals, really. But yeah, that is Jaap Stam. Let's have a look at the next player. So, Ryan Giggs has also gone into a coach. This is probably the most interesting player of this experiment, I'm going to say, because like I say, we noticed that he joined Villa. He then went to LA Galaxy, then went to Manchester United, then went to Real Madrid, and then went to PSG. It's kind of got Beckham's, minus LA Galaxy and Aston Villa. It's kind of got the Beckham route, I guess. From Manchester United, Real Madrid, PSG, right? But of course, he went for 127 million in 2027. Let's have a little look. He did make 761 appearances, scoring 338 goals, which was absolutely awesome. 257 assists, 7.88 rating over the course of the entire his career, which is very, very high considering. I mean, look at all the 8s. It's so high, which is really good. Let's have a look at his what he's done with these clubs, shall we? So his biography isn't very good. The only thing we've got is in July 2038, he joined PSG. So not that good for Ryan Giggs in terms of his biography. According to this, that's PSG, sorry. Let's go to the entire career. Here we go, that's better. So Manchester United legend Ryan Joseph Giggs. We don't need to know when he was born. Over his career, made 761 appearances, scored 338 goals. Let's have a little look what he's won, though. So Montenegro, that's his... He went on to make 146 appearances and score 41 goals for his country. It doesn't really tell us what he's won, really. Here we go. So, making 181 league appearances and scoring 80 goals in 5 years. During his tenure, Giggs' team won the Premier League in 23, 24, 25, 26 and 27. He also won the Champions League in 23, 25. Won the UEFA Super Cup in 23, 25. The FA Cup in 25. The Carabao Cup in 26 and 27. The FA Community Shield 3 times in a row between 2024 and 2026. In July 2027, he joined Real Madrid for 127 million and made 378 appearances for Real Madrid. During Giggs, he won the FIFA World Cup in 2029 and the Champions League with Real Madrid in 2029. Looking at this, he didn't really do anything with PSG. But yeah. This is a nice little description of what he's done. Giggs has built up a phenomenal record of 17 competition wins throughout his career. Premier League with Manchester United, the FIFA World Club Cup, the Champions League. Yeah, pretty incredible of what he's done with so many different teams. Obviously, LA Galaxy isn't really on there, but looking on the screen right now, you can see his entire career stats. So if we just go to his career stats, he made 761 appearances with all of them clubs scoring 338 goals. In his career with Manchester United, he made 672 appearances, so quite close in all fairness, though he has scored a lot more goals on our experiment than he did in real life with Manchester United. So that's quite interesting, but in terms of his career with Wales, he made 146 caps for Wales, scoring 41 goals. In his time at Wales, he only made 64 caps, scoring 12 goals. So again, still quite interesting. But yeah, let's move on to the next player. Okay, we go to Paul Scholes now. And Paul Scholes, another player which pretty much played his whole career at Manchester United, which is really good to see. He did start at Crystal Palace, of course. They bought him for £37.5 million, did Manchester United. But 713 appearances for Manchester United, scoring 145 goals, which is very, very good. If we look at his milestones and then go into his biography, you can see what he's kind of won over the course of the year. Scholes was to finish his playing career at United, making 642 appearances. And you can kind of see what he's won. You know, he's won the Premier League a lot. They had a big spell because they had Scholes, Giggs, Cantona. Did they have Stam? I can't remember if they had Stam or not. I think they did a few. But yeah, you can see how much he's won in that career. But then Scholes moved on to become a coach at Aston Villa. So Scholes is a coach. But let's have a look on the screen right now in comparison to what he's kind of done between real life and the experiment. So 713 appearances. If we look at the real life, he made 499 appearances. So a big difference in appearances on our save, 145 goals, though he did score 107 goals in real life. So kind of done better in real life in comparison to his, you know, his appearances, I guess. Looking at, obviously, his caps for England, though, he made 66 caps for England, scoring 14 goals. In this save, he made 179 caps, scoring 38 goals, which is pretty incredible. Let's move on to the final player. So Eric Cantona completed his whole career, retired quite early actually, 2039. But he made 677 appearances for Manchester United, scoring 349 goals, 120 assists as well. If we quickly look at his stats now, this is him as kind of a manager. He is still unemployed, he's not had a managerial role just yet. Let's have a quick look at his milestones. So, I mean, I've been reading off kind of what Manchester United are doing with the other players, and it's very similar. It's pretty much won everything with Manchester United as well, which is pretty incredible. And then if we compare his stats to real life, you can see on the screen right now, he's made 369 appearances in real life, scoring 131 goals between all of his clubs. This experiment, 677 appearances, so almost double, and 349 goals, which is more than double of what he did in real life. So a very good player for Manchester United. And what we're going to do finally is we're just going to quickly look at the World Cup. So I know obviously England did win the World Cup at some point, but let's have a look if any of our players. So France, I'm not sure if Eric Cantona was involved in that winning team with France, but England just there as well. So not too much in the World Cup. Let's have a look at the Ballon d'Or. So the Ballon d'Or, let's have a look if any of our players won the Ballon d'Or. And you can look at this. So the first year, well, 2019 was when we started. 2022 was Eric Cantona. 2023 was Ryan Giggs. And then Eric Cantona absolutely smashed it for 9 years. Eric Cantona absolutely destroyed it. And then, of course, the regions kind of come through and stuff like that. Just want to have a quick look. That's fine. Yeah, he's English as well. Vincent Thumber is an English player. What a name. But yeah, in terms of this, Eric Cantona pretty much dominated. No Ballon d'Ors by Jaap Stam. No Ballon d'Ors by Paul Scholes. Who was the other one? I forgot. But yeah, David Beckham, that's the one. Is right there. He did finish third in 2023, but he never won the Ballon d'Or. But yeah, that's been it end to the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll leave the links if you guys want to put these into your teams. Let me know if you want to see some more. I'm planning to do 6 episodes on this. I've already got four next players in the pipeline. If there's any players you guys want to suggest, the author of Steam, the author of the workshop item has been in touch with me. And if you guys want any players making who he hasn't already created, let me know in the comments and he will start creating them players for you. But it's been a pleasure, as always. Please drop a like on the video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.